Last time on Edgeworth Investigations.
That face Gumshoe's making, he's like, I did it, I've been useful all case long. I swear, Mr. Edgeworth, can you promote me? Can I get like a Walmart coupon or something? I'm not, you know what, I think I'm just gonna try and finish it in one recording. I'm not sure if it'll be in both, or be in two videos or not, but we'll see. I could just make the video like an hour or two. Make that ridiculous, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. Mr. Alba, I request that you testify once more. As if there were anything else for me to testify about. I still have yet to fully prove that it was Mr. Alba who murdered Mr. Kochin. Well, I would like to hear about your movements before the murder occurred. I wonder if you could tell us about what you did here at the Theatrum Neutralis.
Very well. I suppose I could tell you about that.
I know it's super weird whenever he, like, rubs his, like, nipple badge or whatever, he starts laughing. It's super creepy.
Because about all I did was watch the Steel Samurai stage show.
Elaborating on even that alone is good enough for me. The only way for me to place this man under arrest is to pinpoint the exact location of where the murder took place, for that is the key to this investigation. Steel Samurai show. I watched from the last row. The stage was well lit, but it was dark out in the audience. I swear I was there, but in the audience, it's hard to prove that, I suppose. I do remember the contents of the show very well, though. Is that proof enough for you? Those moving scenes were seared into this old man's heart. I'll never forget them. So you were in the theater proper watching the Steel Samurai stage show, were you?
Of course I was. I have a great fondness for the Steel Samurai.
Yeah, I was pretty cool up there, wasn't I? You're not the one who was cool, it's the Steel Samurai who was cool. I love how he has to elaborate on that. Yeah, the Steel Samurai special finishing move today was really something, huh? Hey, Edgy! Who is she? Who is this super cute girl? She's been standing here the whole time and only now he notices her? Her name is Kay Faraday. She's helping me in my investigation. Sorry, I didn't get to introduce myself earlier, but better late than never. Yes, okay, I'm Larry, but... Silence in the peanut gallery. No time for such trivialities at a time like this. Mr. Prosecutor, this is the final battle. You got that? Just want to check something. Okay, yeah, okay. I hope that Larry was calling her cute in like a, just like, oh, she's a cute girl. And not being creepy, because there's quite an age gap here. Mr. Prosecutor, this is the final battle. You got that? I know. This is the end. For that man there. Now that's the kind of thing I like to hear. I think I'll give trusting you a try, Mr. Prosecutor, or rather, Mr. Edgeworth. I'll leave this critical battle up to you, Mr. Edgeworth. I have no fear, I will finish the job. Unless Zeno messes everything up like he normally does. This really is the end game. Wow, I don't know why, but the lines being thrown out here are so... They're so meta, I have to say. This really is endgame. The time has come to expose every last one of Mr. Alba's lies. Good thing I didn't use the vague Cotty at all. I watched from the last row. The stage was well lit, but it was dark out in the audience. I swear I was there in the audience, but it's hard to prove that, I suppose. Is it just me, or does this music just mean you're supposed to press everything? I know it doesn't, but I don't know. For some reason, this specific music makes me want to press people. So that's what we're gonna do. Last row, I should think that Ambassador would have had special seating reserved. I wanted my staff to enjoy the Steel Samurai show as well. So I gave up all the good seats for them. It was enough for me to simply see him. Wait, what? What's with your rapier? Oh my goodness. Hey, the Steel Samurai wasn't the only hero. Let's not forget about the Pink Princess here.
My dear madame, if you continue to thrust about like that, your hip may begin to hurt again.
Oh my, well aren't you the considerate person when you want to be? This young butterfly is on the side of Edgy Poo, so you can spare me your flirtatious come-ons. Wow, he's completely frozen. In frustration, perhaps, I dare say she can be one rather trying opponent. In any case, Mr. Alba, can you actually prove to us that you were watching the show? Damn, I love this song. Are you admitting that then that you have no way of proving to us that you are watching?
Quiet. You buzz in my ear like a little pesky fly. You don't wish to listen quietly until the end of what I have to say. And perhaps you should pack up and get out of my way. I see that you're willing to be a bit more receptive now. Well, it's true that it may be difficult to prove that I was out in the audience. I do remember the contents of the show very well, though. Is that proof enough for you? These moving scenes were seared into this old man's heart. I'll never forget them. I do remember the contents of the show. This might be the important one. Well, I remember the contents of the show as well myself. That's nice. That's nice. Miles Edgeworth, don't allow yourself to be riled up by him at this important juncture. Wasn't planning to let him. Well, if you ask me, I think I'm the biggest Steel Samurai expert around here. And didn't you think that the climactic scene of today's show was just totally awesome? Yes, I remember that well. And that spectacular special move. The way you delivered the final blow against the evil magistrate. Early summer rain jab. Oh, that scene will live on in my heart forever. Is that how it went? I totally forgot about that. How can you forget your own special moves? That's the special attack that the Steel Samurai uses when he's using the samurai spear. Yes, and today was the first time they showed it off, was it not? If I hadn't watched the show, then how could I answer to you with the name of the move? Suppose you are correct, but if you could, please elaborate on this point for me. I actually kind of like how Edgeworth and Quirkus are just nerding out about the Steel Samurai. One of the scenes is of his never-before-seen early summer rain jab move. Never before seen. Does this have to do with the spear being bent? I don't know what it does, but I have a feeling. The special move today was early summer rain jab. Is that your final answer? You little irritating gnat. Do you think you can trip me up by asking me the same question over and over? That was not my intention. Your testimony is more than sufficient. However, I believe it would be wise for you to take a look at this. The Steel Samurai Spear. What about it? This spear actually never made it on stage today. Oh, that's what it was, because he bent it. Excuse me. Unfortunately for you, this tonight's Steel Samurai happened to be a goof of a young man with an abundance of useless hot-bloodedness. Having said that, said useless man bent the spear during his rehearsal this evening. Okay, do you remember what the Steel Samurai special move was tonight? It was the Steel Samurai Sushi Slash. Correct. Because he couldn't use the spear, a last-minute change was made. Had you really been watching the show, you would have known that move was used. I love how this is being solved by a Steel Samurai stage show. You know what? I said I didn't like Steel Samurai stuff too much just because, I don't know, I found it cheesy and I don't really... It's not something I could care for or watch too much, but I actually kind of like the way it's playing out this time around. I like the fact that such a minor detail is so important to the case. Quirkus Alba, you didn't even watch a single minute of the Steel Samurai stage show tonight, did you? Aha. So if he wasn't watching the show tonight, then it opens up the possibility that he was busy killing Mr. Koten instead. So where were you during the show? I demand an answer now. What's so funny? You're so sloppy, and so are your conclusions. I still insist that I watched the show, or most of it in any case. What do you mean by most of it? One does not simply watch a quarter of a Steel Samurai show. Edgeworth just starts getting super mad. You see, during the show I left my seat for a spell to visit the bathroom. I assume that was when that dramatic scene was played out on stage. That's the loudest, lamest excuse I have ever heard in my life, pal. Just because he got the name of the move wrong. We can't really use that as proof that he didn't watch the show at all. I know, I was about to say that. He could have just been not looking or something. As a fan of the Steel Samurai, I'd wanted to watch the entire show, honest.
A Steel Samurai fan? Or someone who wasn't even in his seat for the climax of the show? You have no right to call yourself a Steel Samurai fan, ever. Is he gonna get super pissed, or wait, what's the deal? Who was that just now? Wait, what? It would be I, young lady. Larry, what are you doing interrupting me like that? I didn't even notice he interrupted something. Edgy, just hold on for a second, I beg. You may never accept this old man as a Steel Samurai fan, but I totally think he's a Steel Semantic. Wait, not semantic. Steel Semaniac. Okay, hard to see the text over his armor. What exactly is a Steel Semaniac, pal? I believe he meant to say Steel Samurai Maniac. Yeah, and trust me, I know a real fan when I see one, because I'm the Steel Samurai. I will never acknowledge you as the true Steel Samurai. Okay, I was trying to pick out the background noise there. It could be like the emulator screwing up, but it sounds like there's a weird staticky sound in this song. What are you getting so worked up over, Mr. Edgeworth? Sorry, it's really important to me. It appears that the real Steel Samurai recognizes me as a fan. As well he should, for I am a fan. It's not as though I missed the entire show. It was the most amazing show, filled with the spirit of the young and the young at heart. The sarcasm dripping from his long wooden nose couldn't run any thicker. Getting the name of the move wrong only proves that he didn't watch that last scene. What I really need here is something more definitive. Something that links Mr. Alba directly to the murder of Mr. Manny Kochan. I'm honored to receive such a praise from the Steel Samurai, but what is it for? Well, I was just wondering how you found out about the early summer rain jab, because that's right, if he didn't actually see that, how he knew. How did he know? That move is a bit of a secret that only a small portion of the staff know about. Wait, it was a secret? Larry, what did you just say? Huh? Did I say something stupid again? Did you say that the early summer rain jab was actually a secret? Well, maybe I shouldn't have said secret. It's more like we only decided on the name of the move right before the start of the show. Right before? Yeah, the stage director was going nuts because we were supposed to debut the movie. Or the move. About 5 minutes before the show, we threw it up on the dressing room's whiteboard. Oh, so he just saw it on the whiteboard and assumed. Early summer rain jab, that's kind of how we decided the name of the move. But by that time, I'd already bent the spear, so I guess the whole thing was kind of pointless. All of you Steel Samurai actors are the same. The director has my complete sympathy. So basically, because we changed the move to the sushi slash, we kind of pretended that the early summer rain jab didn't exist at all. I mean, it'd be bad if someone found out we changed the move, so we made it a secret. So basically a gag order that was issued for publicity's sake. It almost makes the early summer rain jab sound like a lost art. Yeah, which is why I think most of the staff haven't even heard of the move. Objection! Hold those lips of yours still. What the heck, old man? I've done nothing but listen, and from what I can tell, it's very unrelated to the case. It's also very tedious and a pointless exercise and wasting time, much like a kid's show. You did not just say that. He's like, nah, girlfriend, you did not just insult Steel Samurai Husbando. Mr. Alba, I believe that the one who should be quiet now is you. How dare you? I suspect that you've already noticed exactly what the very severe implications are of in this man's testimony. There are no implications to be read into behind-the-scenes story of a kid's show. Don't even think about trying to slither your way out of this, Quercus Alba. You're the one who said it yourself that the name of the move was the Early Summer Rain Jab. But that name was only decided upon right before the show was about to start. So, just what are you driving at? The name of your move, you told us, was never used in the show or said out loud. Now then, would you care to tell us how you found out the name of that move? Because I can only think of one way you could have known. Quercus Alba, this is the only way you could have known about the name of the move. You saw it. You knew the name because you saw it. You saw it on the dressing room's whiteboard. The staff members who knew were keeping it a secret. So you couldn't have simply gone up to a staff member and asked. Which means that the only other option left is that you saw it on the whiteboard. So that means that Mr. Alba was waiting in the waiting room at some point, right? What's the big deal, sir? I don't see what that means. There's another piece of evidence that has a great deal to do with the dressing room. So we can't afford to let this slide. This is related to both the dressing room and Mr. Kochan's murder. I don't know what this is, actually. Is it the pushcart again? Sounds like it. Yeah, I got it. The pushcart that was used to move the body was right there in the dressing room. During the show, the pushcart awaited its turn to be pushed on stage in the dressing room. And was finally pushed there along with the Iron Infant in the last scene of the show. And then right after the show ended, it went into Alabast along with the Steel Samurai. Which means that the only time the killer could have placed the body inside the pushcart was when the pushcart was in the dressing room backstage. So basically, the killer has to be someone who visited the dressing room during the show. Precisely. Whoa! Seriously, you can't keep this up, man. It's been so long, you can't possibly think you can keep this up. Oh, but wait, what if, and this is just a what if the murder didn't take place in the dressing room? Well, what do you mean, Kay? I have to admit, she brings up a valid possibility. During the show, the dressing room was supposed to be devoid of people. Anyone going into the private dressing room would stand out like a sore thumb. But despite that, the killer still managed to move the body with a pushcart. Correct, and it is because of the setup of the theater's dressing room that it would be the ideal location for the murder of Manny Kochan. Quercus Alba, during the show, you went down to the dressing room. And I know why. Or did you say I know why, or I want to know why? I read too fast. Yes. Yes, I was there. I went into the dressing room. I knew it. I'm placing you under arrest right now, pal. You got that? Arrest! Not so fast. What is it now? Don't I deserve a chance to explain myself? Explain? What is there to explain? I believe I told you earlier that I went to the bathroom. Well, I got lost when I did. Oh my god, so stupid. I wanted to ask for directions, but when I opened the dressing room door, no one was inside. And that's when I saw the name of the move on the whiteboard. You punk, still trying to get out of this? Do you really think that you can get away at this point? Mr. Edgeworth, isn't there anything you can do to stop him? No, not really. I don't have enough evidence on hand to do anything. I don't have the airtight evidence I need to put this man away for good. But if that's what I need, then perhaps... Agent Lang, I believe an investigation in the dressing room is in order. It's possible that we may find new evidence there. Yeah, if Mr. Edgeworth pokes around in there, I'm sure I'll find some new facts, pal. Ooh, and if we use Little Thief, we may even learn something from a recreation. We don't need to do any of that. What? Wolfie? How could you? I'm not saying this to be mean. It's just that you've already searched there. My men really are something else. And they found nothing? There's only one thing I can say to you, sis, and it's that they found nothing. That's it. I guess you're right. If they had found something, they would have reported it to us. They couldn't find anything because there was nothing to find. If there's no info to feed into Little Thief, then I couldn't do much to help either. Is this the end? The murder took place in this theater, which is not protected under extraterritorial rights. And the fact that it was Mr. Alba himself who committed the murder. If I can't prove both statements to be true, Mr. Alba walks away a free man. Is there no other course of action left to us? It would appear— I love how all of Agent Lang's people are just standing here listening to this like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever. It would appear that your hand of cards has turned out to be a bust. Now if you'll excuse me, because of you people I missed my flight, and I want to make haste to arrange for a new one. Who now? Just Larry again? Who's it this time? Oh no. Hold it right there, you whippersnappers. Ah! First Larry and now you?
What is it with that scary monster-like scowl on your face, Edgy Poo? Don't treat me like I'm some sort of nuisance. I've been meaning to say this, but all you keep talking about the things I don't get at all. You're all leaving this lady in the sad, depressing, lonely dust I'm about to cry in.
Why do you have to speak up right at this instant?
But you know what, Edgy Poo? Cheer up.
Because I'm about to give you the most wonderful thing. The most wonderful thing. From you.
It's so super special that I couldn't give it away to just anyone, you know. My special present of love to my sweet Edgy Poo. Are you ready? Is this?
Just takes off her shirt. Everyone in the room goes blind. It's... the samurai dog? It's a box of those samurai dogs, right?
Oh yes, Edgy Poo. Here you go and eat one. You'll feel right as rain.
Are we through here?
Why did everyone get so quiet all of a sudden? Edgy Poo! Tell me you understand the depths of this lady's love for you. I'm not one to hand out snacks willy-nilly, you know. No, sir. The thought had occurred to me that maybe it would be good if I fed you, blah, 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 blah.
Edgeworth in the background just like, I wonder if I could hang myself in that ceiling fan in there. How long would it take anyone to find me? But she'd probably just kill herself too and I'd meet her in hell.
Mr. Edgeworth, can't you do anything about her?
There's no power on earth that can force that woman into silence. Oh my god, she's an expert. Look at that, or Korokor as it's actually called.
But I'm so sick and tired of it. All you people do is look down on me. Even this box of samurai dogs played me for a fool. It had a special design on its fan, like the Japanese flag, so I thought it was special. But when I ate one, it tasted just like the rest of it made me so mad.
Wait, a special box with a Hidamaru-like fan on it. I've never heard of such a piece of merchandise existing. However, there is the red rising sun on this fan is filled in. Is it possible? Could it be? After the show, the samurai dogs were piled up on the dressing room floor. However, there is no such thing as the rising sun dog. Huh, what does that mean? It's contradiction of fact between something that should not exist and yet it does. The rays from this rising sun may be just what we needed to point us in the right direction. A present? Studio Bigwigs basically told us to play delivery boys. We're supposed to hand the dogs off to the embassy people and tell them hi. I had to pile them all into the pushcart just to move them all. I believe you understand what this means, correct? You killed Mr. Kochin at this theater and then placed the body inside the pushcart. And then, you forced the Steel Samurai to unwittingly move the body for you. It's time to piece the final piece of this logic puzzle together. No matter how fragile the small connections may be. Once we found them all, the way to the truth will be revealed. Logic time, the final logic of the game, I'm guessing. So, I'm guessing that we will have to attach samurai dogs to body in the pushcart. I don't know why, but... oh, hey, I actually got it right. I was just connecting random things. The killer used the pushcart to transport the body, which means that they had to remove the samurai dogs from within first. Therefore, the samurai dogs that were piled up on the dressing room floor were most likely taken out of the pushcart by the killer. Rising sun dogs, samurai dogs removed. I actually don't know what this connection means at all. That which should not exist, this box of samurai dogs with Hinamaru on it. This red rising sun was filled in when the killer was busy removing dogs from the pushcart. And it's proof that the murder took place in the dressing room. As long as this red substance turns out to be what I believe it to be. Windy Old Bag. Oh, that's what it was. Blood got spilled on the samurai dogs. And she made it think that there was like a rising sun on there. Windy Old Bag. Is he gonna thank her? I thank you. What you have given to me is truly something very special.
Edgy Poo!
Mr. Edgeworth, are you sure you're feeling okay, sir? Mr. Alba, as I suspected, you killed Mr. Kochin in the dressing room. How many times must I listen to you repeat yourself? Haven't you figured it out yet? Your words are meaningless, worthless, and powerless. The only way I'm going to continue to cooperate is with some definitive evidence. That arrogance, that self-confidence. You believe that you've erased every piece of evidence that could incriminate you. However, there remains one piece here, and it is what will put you away for good. Ha, you're bluffing. Oh. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, sounds like you finally found them. You finally found the fangs we needed to go after this guy's jugular. That's graphic, Lang. So tell us, what about that box of samurai dogs is going to put the old man away? The trace evidence that will bring him down. Why it's here, of course. It's the fan. This box of samurai dogs with the rising sun fan on it. This should have never existed. I want you all to take a good look at this red spot. It's a single drop of blood. Huh? What? Blood, you say? Agent Lang, I'd like this blood analyzed post-haste. I've got to admit I'm a bit surprised. Can't believe we found blood in a place like this. Hey you, get this down to the lab, pronto. Why was there blood on that box to begin with? If we think about the flow of the crime, I think the reason will become obvious. Larry, you said that you transported the samurai dogs with the pushcart, correct? Oh, yeah, you have a great memory, Edgy. That pushcart was a bit too big for my son, you know what I mean? So I make sure everyone could see him, and I had to pile some stuff in. I figured samurai dogs were there, so I used them to fill out the cart. What Larry says is true, then what were the boxes doing on the floor? I see. The killer took them out in order to place the body in the pushcart. Exactly, and that is when I believe the victim's blood found its way into that box. But when my men investigated the room, not a single box of samurai dogs was in there, because the embassy staff members had already confiscated them. Yes, no doubt to hide the evidence of the murder. It's a good thing Miss Oldbag managed to steal that one box before they got to them, huh? Looks like Miss Oldbag also managed to put this great thief to shame. What a scandalous way of putting that. I didn't steal, I received it from myself. Quercus Alba, I'd say this was one very fatal oversight on your part. How does it feel to go to jail over a hot dog? Like, seriously. There's so many slips on food lately. It's like, how'd you get in here? How'd they prove you wrong? And he's like, well, they proved I didn't know the Steel Samurai special moved and that there was blood on a hot dog box. Wait, what? Sorry to rain on your little love fest, however. How? How can he be so confident in a no-win situation for him like this? Even if that blood turns out to belong to Mr. Cochin, then what? So, Mr. Edgeworth, it sounds like he's not ready to call it quits yet, huh? The sole piece of evidence that was left at the scene of the crime, that alone has shed light on a new fact. At the very least, we now have proof that the murder occurred in the dressing room. And? You say that like it means something. Huh? Wait, how does that not mean something? Excuse me, sirs. Report. What were the results of the analysis? Sir, the analysis came back and confirmed that the red substance is blood. I knew it. With this Quercus Alba. Are you kidding me? Mr. Edgeworth, I wonder if you might humor my question. Your question? The one from before, have you forgotten? Even if that is Mr. Cochin's blood, what difference would it make? Like we already told you, it proves that the crime scene was that dressing room. You know what? I couldn't even imagine what the report for this crime looks like when you're done. Like, opening up this 5 years later and staring at the sequence of events that happened in order to both solve and make this case happen must be ridiculous. Like, if I opened a file to this case, I wouldn't even believe it happened. I'd be like, who's playing this prank on me? But it doesn't prove that I am your killer, does it? That's... it's a very good point. The blood on that box doesn't prove that Mr. Alba is the killer. But then... this evidence, it's meaningless. That can't be. We were so close, sir. I want to smack that smug look off his face. Come on, there's got to be something we can do. We finally found a solid piece of evidence. There must be something I can expose with it. I can't think of a single thing. Seriously, can you stop laughing? You're laughing way too much. Now if you'll excuse me, I'll be on my way. Another hold it from who this time? Who was that? It's too late. I won't allow anyone to stop me now. It wasn't me, pal. Wasn't me this time either. Wasn't me either. It was me. Wait, what? What? Why did you... Because I haven't finished reporting everything to you yet, sir. You guys just kind of cut me off. There's more. What? Hurry up and spit it out. Yes, sir. That blood I mentioned. Oh, yeah. True hero of the Ace Attorney series. Forensics guy. It's not of the same blood type as the victim's blood. What? No. Oh, it's from the wound he received up in the left side of his, I guess collar area, right? What? What do you mean it's not the same type? You mean it's not the victim's blood? If it isn't his, then who the hell is it? I don't know, sir. All I know is that it's not the same blood type as the victim, sir. What should we do now, Mr. Edgeworth? I have no idea what's what anymore. Neither do I. My, what an amusing turn of events. That blood drop proved something to be true, all right. Namely, my words. And which one of your words would that be? The ones where I said that your words are meaningless, worthless, and powerless. That blood has nothing to do with the murder investigation whatsoever. Need I remind you that the blood got onto that box long before it entered my embassy? But what sort of nonsense? Yeah, it was your blood, pal. There's no way it's not related to the murder. So, wait, did you just say it was his blood? Did I misread that? I probably did. So you would like to believe. But what if someone preparing the samurai dogs had a small nosebleed? What then? I guess it's possible. Damn it. Have we been wasting our time on the red herring? The blood doesn't belong to anyone connected to the case. That could be clue enough. Quercus Alba, you bastard. Silence. Don't you ever address me with such filthy word again. Wasted enough time here with you, and you have your answers, now let me through. Alba, it doesn't matter where you run off to, you'll never escape me. Someday I'll have the satisfaction of sinking my fangs in you, you'll see. And all of Interpol will be behind me working to see to it that the day comes. Do you know what your words sound like to me? It sounds like the whinings of a pathetic loser of a mutt. I'd like to make a howling noise, but there are people that live around me. Is this really the extent of all that we can do? Is this blood really from someone completely unrelated to the case? No, it's his blood. Or is there another possibility, someone else other than the victim? Just when I thought I had him backed into a corner, it is I who has been backed into one. In a situation like this, what would that man do? Oh, is he recalling to Phoenix? I was just about to say that I'm surprised they didn't include more of Phoenix in here, and I don't mean him being here, but the mentions of him were relatively low from what I expected. What would he do that can turn around any disparate situation? Turn it around. That's it. I must turn my way of thinking around. It's not whose blood is this, but whose blood could get onto the box like this and if I think about it that way... If the blood got onto the box when the body was being placed into the pushcart, then the owner of said blood must have been in the dressing room at the time. There's only one person who that could be. Well, I must praise you for trying so hard. It's because of you kids that I was removed from the center stage. And I'll be forced to live out the rest of my life in the shadows, unfortunately. But it's not a total loss, as the underworld will allow me even more freedom than you'll ever know. Freedom like what the raven feels as it flies through the dark night sky. You can't lay a finger on me, not now or ever. The arm of the law is powerless before me. Powerless, is it? I wouldn't be so sure about that if I were you. What do you mean? Allow me to describe you in one word. Pitiful. Pitiful? How so? Quercus alba. Your wings were clipped long ago. And for someone who is trying to fly away on them without noticing that fact, pitiful is the perfect word to describe you. Huh, mere words. What do you mean by his wings are clipped, Mr. Edgeworth? Just what you think it means, Kay. We had already caught him in our trap a while back, with an incredibly powerful definitive piece of evidence. Hey. Earth to Mr. Prosecutor, care to speak English? What are you talking about? What piece of evidence? The piece I speak of is, of course, this drop of blood. But we know that it's not from the victim. I don't see how it remains relevant to the case at all. Miss Von Karma, I believe that is exactly why it is very important to the case. And the part that is most important is the fact that it's not the victim's blood, it's his. You're looking a little pale. Good, then I believe you are already aware of what I mean. Then you know who the blood belongs to. Of course I do. This piece of evidence is irrefutable proof that will stop the killer in his tracks. The blood that soiled this box of samurai dogs belongs to this person. Quercus alba. The blood of the rising sun on this box belongs to you, Quercus alba. What? What? Why is his blood on the box of the samurai dogs? He's not even a victim. The blood fell onto the box when Mr. Kochin's body was being loaded into the cart. At the time, the only two people in the dressing room were the victim and his killer. So that's what you mean. The blood doesn't belong to the victim. Then there's only one person it could belong to. Yes, and that person is the murderer himself. That's the only logical conclusion. Mr. Kochin was the one who stabbed, sir. Why would Mr. Alba have been the one who was bleeding? What if during the murder, Mr. Kochin had fought back? You mean if before Mr. Alba could kill him, Mr. Kochin managed to wound Mr. Alba? Yes, I believe we have a piece of evidence that proves that he was bleeding then. The piece of evidence that proves it? Is his wound part of the evidence? Oh yes it is, okay. Mr. Alba, you bear on your body a great wound. That was from when Damas II attacked me with a pair of scissors. Yeah, and that happened way after he was in the dressing room. Oh, but is that really what happened? You can manufacture a weapon by smearing blood onto it, so I just can't accept that as fact. Shall we try a test, Mr. Alba, and try and see if the shape of your wound matches the scissors? You really are something else, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't let a single thing slip you by, no matter how insignificant the possibility. You're one to talk, Mr. Alba. You managed to give the law a slip for 10 years as the smuggling ring's leader. No matter the danger, you can hide every last ounce of fear and anxiety from everyone. You truly are a one-of-a-kind criminal. I am the master of my fear. However, to think that a person such as you could miss such a large thing. You believe I've overlooked something? You said that my wound was caused by Mr. Kochin. That it was caused here in one of the theater's dressing rooms, right? Yes, that is correct. I'd like to point out that it's simply not possible. Oh, what now? My wound is a stab wound, and one that could have only come from a blade. Oh, did he use the Yachigrasu's key to stab him? I wonder where you will propose that such a weapon came from. Oh, this theater was packed with security guards. It would have been impossible for anyone to come into this area with a weapon of any sort. Just as Mr. Alba was able to bring in the alabaster knife in a bouquet, there must have been some other way to sneak in a weapon of some sort. Oh, but as long as you can't prove what that other way... Wait, what that other way is. Okay. All your talk about Mr. Kochin backstabbing me is pure nonsense. So if that other way does exist, you'd better hurry and tell me now. Oh, the bow of finishing the game. With pleasure. Wait, what? This piece of evidence shows us how Mr. Kojin was brought a weapon into this theater. Among law enforcement, this piece is known as the Atarasu's key.
That key!
That's the key that my father stole from here 7 years ago. And it's very unique in that it is both a key and a knife, meaning that under the guise of a key, it could have easily been brought into the theater.
Whoa.
You couldn't dispose of the knife that stabbed you. Therefore, you wiped off the blood and placed it back in Mr. Kojin's pocket. After all, the key itself opens the safe in his office. And inside that safe, there was a document about Kodofian paper signed by Mr. Kojin. In order to make it look like Mr. Kojin died as the leader of the smuggling ring, you had to make it so that the police were the ones who opened that office safe. All that hard work to save yourself only served to destroy you in the end. Shall we try matching this nice blade with your wound, Mr. Quercus Alba?
Well, I think we're finally done. Come on, dude, just give it up, please. I don't want to do this anymore.
And that is what some may call a coup de grace.
Impossible. You can't take me down. Swine, all of you. Especially Manny Kojin. This is all because of that man's betrayal. He sought to steal control of the smuggling ring from me by removing me as ambassador. Which is why he deserved to die with bearing the guilt for all my crimes for me. That's why I sent out the Atarasu's card and how the incident was born. Manny was supposed to be the smuggling ring's leader who was killed by the Atarsu. But I had yet another reason, yet another story that was supposed to play out. Manny's death was supposed to bring everything to a close. And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling prosecutors.
Mr. Alba, I'm afraid there is one more question I forgot to ask. This country is Alabas. Which country's court would you like to face first? Either way, it's game over for you.
Edgeworth!
God, he's... Oh my god! That's what we call photosynthesis, children.
Oh my god! Just... What is that creature? What is that Silent Hill monster?
Sometimes Ace Attorney creates some of the scariest things I've ever seen.
Guess that finally concludes it.
Whew, this is it, the big day. It's Mr. Alba's trial today. And next week, he's scheduled to stand trial in his own country of Alabast. Francisca's is heading that one. I suspect she'll be serving a full course of whiplashes at it.
Having to face Miss Von Karma in court right after facing you, sir. Ugh, I don't even want to think of what that would be like. I caught a glimpse of Mr. Alba as he was being escorted into the courthouse. And boy, he looked about as glum as I do the day before I get my monthly paycheck.
You know, I've been thinking. That flight attendant and even Mr. Portsman were all Mr. Alba's secret agents. Correct. That smuggling ring was the common thread between all of the incidents. Canyon Melee was to provide support during the smuggling ops using her job as an attendant. And Mr. Portsman was to manipulate trials related to the ring to end in their favor.
Ugh. iFly Airlines and even the prosecutor's office. No one was safe from the smuggling ring, huh, sir?
I suspect there are even more members of the ring spread throughout the world.
Yeah, it sounds like such a big op that I can't even begin to imagine what it's like.
What is it, detective?
Nothing. It's just... Well, come to think of it, Mr. Ernest Amano's trial is also scheduled for later today, sir.
I'm aware of that. Mr. Amano has been working with the smuggling ring now for over 10 years. He used the Amano Group's various connections worldwide to assist the ring. But all that has come to an end as his conglomerate is now undergoing harsh security. I owe Mr. Amano a debt of gratitude, but he must pay his debt to society.
Well, with the arrests of both Mr. Alba and Mr. Amano, I guess that about wraps up the KG8 incident as well, huh?
I suppose so. The real killer in the KG8 incident 10 years ago was Manny Kojin. And 7 years ago, the killer in the second KG8 incident was Macrel. Those two facts are the unshakable truth, however. It seems that a lot of effort was put into hiding these and other truths from us. And I will expose it all at the trials today. You're solving cases left and right today, aren't you, sir? CCU and Dyed Man. Perhaps now, those two brave souls who tried to make the truth can now rest in peace. By the way, I received some gifts from Ambassador Plano. Shrimp crab beef. I don't need any of these, so I'm giving them to you. What? Seriously, sir? But wait, actually, I don't think I want them anymore. The way you're holding them, just don't tell me they're just coupons, sir. Detective Gumshoe, have you not read the paper recently? Ever since the two countries became Kodofia again, the economy has changed. Really? It seems that Ambassador Plano has reaped a few benefits of his own from it. He was announced as the official ambassador of the newly reunified Kodofia. Ah, but what a pity. Even though every item he sent is a treasure, you don't seem all that interested. Well, if you don't want them, I can give them to my lovely assistant, Kay. Wait, that's not what I said. So, Mr. Edgeworth, please let me have them, sir. Oh, Kay's still here. Actually, come to think of it, where is Kay? How come she's still not here? What? I was hiding under the couch the whole time. Hey, you gotta be more alert than that. I love his scared emote. I can't believe that you didn't notice I was even mimicking Mr. Edgeworth's voice for a bit. I totally didn't notice you or realize that the voice was you. Lang Z says, ferocious love blooms with each new spring. Agent Lang, a pleasant surprise to see you here. It's been a long time since I set foot in the courthouse, but I wasn't going to miss watching the guy who screwed up my country finally get what's coming to him. Well, that and something else. I want to see you in action in court. Is that so, Agent Lang? We flushed out all the counterfeit bills so Zhang Fa is finally at peace again. And it's all thanks to you, so I just want to say thanks. Wow, I never thought I'd see the day old Wolfie says thanks to Mr. Edgeworth. I should be the one thanking you, Agent Lang. If you hadn't negated Mr. Alba's extraterritorial rights, I would not have been able to bring him to trial. I believe the victory belongs to both of us in this case. A shared victory, huh? Look, don't get me wrong. I'll never forgive you prosecutors. I have zero interest in that truth thing you talk about in court. I've always done things my own way, and that's not about to change. You got that? I see. Well, I believe you should follow your own creed about when you do your job. Yeah, if there's ever someone your precious truth can't catch, feel free to sit around and cry about it all you want. But as for me, I'm going to get that person no matter what. Huh. Alright. Wait, so Lang is basically saying, I have learned nothing from this. The one thing I have learned is that it is okay to put people in prison who I am not sure of if they belong there or not. That's not really a good lesson, Lang, and Edgeworth seems okay with that. It's about time for the trial to start. I'll see you later. I'll be watching your performance from the gallery. I'm looking forward to this. I prepared a whole ton of ticker tape for today's victory, sir. I'll help throw some around when Mr. Edgeworth wins. Hope you've got enough, because I'm going to call my men up as well. A modest amount of ticker tape goes a long way. What is ticker tape? Is that like confetti? The scene shifts to the courtroom and the final act begins. The legend of the great thief Yatagarasu. The story of those who chose to dedicate their lives to the pursuit of... Okay. Prosecutors are those who seek guilty verdict for the defendants they meet. And to that end, you have no choice but to win by any means necessary. That creed was forced upon me since I was very young. However, I no longer think that is all we prosecutors are. And that is because... Finally, back in the courtroom. Even though I've only been away from the court for a short time, I feel as though it's been a lifetime since I've set foot in one. And today, more than any other day, I feel the flight... Oh, what? Okay. I couldn't even read that, it went by so fast. Okay, so we finally finished Edgeworth Investigations. My voice is dead. I decided to record this entire episode as like a 2-hour thing, but I'll probably split it up. But oh, she's still... I'm in debt for the other day. Thanks to him. Oh, there's still more. I'm still free and to serve this friendly blue skies. Oh, so about my suitcase. I've been selling them on the internet and they've really become a sensation. Thanks to the praise the art world has lavished on my work as being truly postmodern. The airline had chosen me to design their new line of iFly jumbo jets. Just think someday you'll be able to take a ride in my pink-walled, yellow-seated jet. Oh god. No, thanks. Never. Normally I talk about what's going on during the credits or how I thought about the game, but... Not this time around. Edgeworth. Oh, that rudeness of a rude man. Because of him, my time and money was wasted. But more importantly, I received the most fantastic thing. The Prima statue. Oh, what? He just got the Prima statue? It weighs a bit light in my hands, but the Ambassador Paleno was most generous. Oh, wow. Guess it belongs to him now. So what about Gumshoe? We finally caught Agent Hicks' killer, and I was able to witness Mr. Alba's teary eyes. Feels good to finally bring everything to a close. I received another offer from Interpol to work another case in cooperation with them. But you probably turned it down. However, the Cadopian courts await. Cadopia's air is supposed to be very fresh, so my whip should find new vigor there. It doesn't seem like they ever get a break, like Edgeworth and Von Karma work constantly. Oh god, Meekins. There's the little patrolman has been fired as of today, sir. I thought I was safe since we found the gun I had dropped. But I hadn't noticed that I had dropped my police badge too. I guess what really broke the camel's back was that I couldn't find my badge. My little life has suddenly tripped into a dark black hole, sir. I think I'll go to the courthouse and file a complaint with the Ruffles man. With Ruffles man. Oh god. Like, the thing that amazes me about these games is that they're made by like 20 or 30 people in total. It's nuts. And it makes me wonder if the Ace Attorney people will ever take on like a different project. Because they obviously love these games. Oh yeah. I was actually hoping to talk with Mr. Edgeworth a bit more than I did. But I gotta get going and return to Europe. Still got a long way to go and a lot of stuff to study there. Next time I help Mr. Edgeworth on a case, I'm going to do it as a real forensic scientist. I'm sure he's going to need all the help I can give him scientifically. Yeah, Emma's the best. Anyways, they obviously put a lot of like love and care in Arc System Works? What? They obviously put a lot of love and care into these games, seeing as how they keep making them, and they seem to be of quality. Like, they never seem to just be lazy with them. Because the kidnapping was staged, I was let off easy. I won't be going outside much anytime soon, but that's really, really okay. The only prison I'm forever trapped in is this cage of love. I don't even remember what voice I gave her. The guard down there at the detention center, well, he's on guard duty. He has such a cold look in his eyes, just like that prosecutor. But oh no. She's lusting after Mr. Bad now. Oh, stop it, Lauren. When will you ever learn to stop being a prisoner of love? Okay. Here we go. Wait, what? Oh, hello, it's me again. I bet you missed me. It appears there are all sorts of drama that takes place outside the courtroom. Since we judges are here in and out, here day in and day out, I've only heard... Okay, I didn't get to read that, Judge. Apparently Mr. Edgeworth teamed up with a thief and became a detective. Maybe I should team up with a bailiff and try to become a lawyer or something. Music done by 3 people. Oh, her, I forgot about her. Wait, what is happening? Ooh, I barely escaped death yet again. Yeah, but boy, were we lucky to have Mr. Edgeworth to help us out, huh? Yeah, but because I lost the key, I got fired from my security guard job. Don't let it get you down, Maggie. You still got me. You're right, sir. I won't be sad. I'm going to pick myself up and get through this. I wonder what my next job should be. Ooh, this is actually kind of fun. Localization done by 3 people. That's a lot of translating. Localization team management. Why not come to Codofia for your summer vacation? We have coupons aplenty. Right now our embassy is proud to present our Let's Investigate a Murder show. Although recreating that particular case has created a few small fires of its own. We had a few problems with the fire marshals, but the next event will be great. There will be an attraction entitled Capture the Yachtgarasu. Of course, I hope to enlist K's help in creating our latest attraction. I always love Ace Attorney endings because they're always so happy. Like, they make you just smile when it's over. I can't believe Mindy ditched me and went to Japan. Wait, Mindy, isn't it? Is that who I think it is? Oh no, that's the actor lady. We're planning to go to Paris soon and start a business. We're going to sell Blue Ocean dogs. They sell like hot dogs, or hot cake hot dogs for sure. A blue hot dog and a blue whore, and I guarantee it'll turn your tongue and... What? Larry, just stop talking. I'm not even gonna bother anymore. Oh, so I noticed that I really haven't seen that guy in the blue suit at all recently. I love how they don't want to say Phoenix's name no matter what. They're like, the guy in the blue suit, the guy with the spiky hair. I don't know why, but... I guess the Edgeworth games do take a bit more work because there's a lot of sprite work going on, so there's a lot more people. But if you look in the credits for the old Ace Attorney games, there was like 20 people. Today I give my testimony in court today, as a member of the Yachtgarasu. Yo, Mr. Bad, you look well, all things considered. By the way, have you noticed that elements within the ring have begun moving? You're probably fighting over who should succeed, over who should be the next boss. Although, to be honest, I wish I could forget I'd ever heard of that smuggling ring. Lang Z says, thoroughly bite the poisonous snake from head to tail. No one runs afoul of the law and escapes the wolf's fangs. I'll get you all yet. Ah, youth. When did I become so old, I wonder? I've begun noticing the gray hairs in my beard more. I'm thinking of retiring my mirror. Does every single character have to say something? Oh no, not old back. I was the Pink Princess and the Pink Badger in a span of all 2 days. Talk about busy. But it's alright because I got a letter from my beloved Edgy Poo. Please take care of your hip. And when you wish to speak first, take off your headpiece. What does he mean by that last statement? Or don't, was it take off or don't take off? It's like I enjoy being under, oh god. Okay, yep, just do your thing. My voice is destroyed, but it was so worth it. The thing is, I'm trying to talk about the games, but I'll have to wait till after the credits. Are they over? Oh wait, there's a little more, okay. Woo! I feel so much better now that the trial's over. And as always, your legal prowess was top-notch, sir. Yeah, nothing beat the look on Mr. Alba's face when you revealed the ring's secrets. I was amazed. You're like a totally different person when you step into a courtroom. Mr. Edgeworth is always 10 times fiercer in court. Based on the information Mr. Alba offered up, they've begun a large-scale operations. To clean up the rest of the ring, which I'm happy to leave to Francisco and H. and Lang. So what are your plans now, Kay? Oh, well, we've taken care of the creep who killed my father, so I'm not sure. Hey, I know. Maybe I'll just keep on being Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. Are you trying to steal my job, pal? Just kidding, just kidding. I can't steal something so important to you, Gummy. Phew, what a relief. Okay. Yes? Even after all that's happened, you're still planning to become the great thief? Of course. I don't want to tarnish the legend of the noble Yachtgarasu. So I'm going to hold off on doing anything until I make a tight 3-person team of my own. 3-person team? Ken already has that. A 3-person team of young beauties the same age as me, if possible. With those criteria, I highly doubt you'll find the 2 other people you need. My father chose to fight the truth. For the truth. I think that's what was so noble about him. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, the only things I will ever steal are the truths that have been hidden away. I'm going to work extra hard to make a world where the yachtocracy isn't needed. Let's both strive for such a future. Well, I guess it's time for me to get going. I see. Okay? Keep your chin up and stay strong, okay? And don't be a stranger. Don't worry, I'll be back. I'll be sure to break the lock on the window and sneak in. If you could, I'd appreciate it if you could just came in through the door. It's okay, Mr. Edgeworth. The lock on my window at home has been broken forever. Oh, and one last thing before I go. Let's take a group picture, just the 3 of us. Yeah, a commemorative photo. Every case has to end with one. No. Hey, why not? Don't tell me you're camera shy, Mr. Edgeworth. Of course not, Detective. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm taking the picture now. Hey, come back here. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't run away from this, sir. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Stop that. I can't be seen doing that. Okay, I'm totally taking it now. Say cheese. What's the picture gonna look like? Show me, game. And thus the long tale of the KG8 incident came to a close. I saw the demise of a smuggling ring and the birth of a little great thief. This is such like a cliche movie ending thing to do. For I am eager to tackle the investigation into a new case. The reason for my eagerness is my want to pursue the truth, and my want to believe in the strength of those who use the power of the law for good. As someone who has chosen to live my life as a prosecutor, that is my new creed. Yep, that's a proper picture. That is a 100% good picture of Edgeworth. The end. Is it say the end? I'm surprised you didn't see like a thing for nope, that's the game. Well, that was fun. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the game a little bit. What did I think about it? As far as an Ace Attorney game goes, I thought it was good. It didn't really hit me in any special place where Ace Attorney hasn't gone like, ha, look at this before. I really did enjoy the characters, especially after playing Apollo, where I found a lot of the characters flat and boring. In here, almost all of them were so energetic, and even if I had seen some of them before, they didn't really get old. Well, maybe Larry does a bit, and same with Old Bag, but the characters just, they seem truly Ace Attorney. As far as the writing goes, it was nothing extraordinary, I want to say. It didn't feel like I was solving any sort of new case. It didn't feel like I had to turn my brain around in a way I've never thought before to do this. And as far as the grand scheme of important things, I know people in the comment section do argue with me quite a bit. It's to, like, how do you not find this important? It has to do with K and all this, and it's just, I don't know. It's because the problem with it is it's not so much of a personal thing. They have a lot of weight as in like, oh, we can't catch this guy, we can't make him go to jail for thing. But the thing is, if he leaves, what's the difference? At that point, he would have left, been an underground smuggling guy in a country we never heard of, and we never heard of like from him again. Sure, he wouldn't be brought to justice, but in like a personal manner, in like a local issue, he'd be gone. So it's not like you necessarily lose if you lost after the point in which Lang stripped him of any authority. As for Edgeworth as a character, it's very, I'm not going to say he made the game boring for me, but it made the game slightly different because like everyone patronizes Edgeworth in some weird way, but he's much more stoic than Phoenix is. Like his thoughts don't go to, hilarious things. His thoughts always go to kind of just serious qualms about everything. So it made it a little different for the LP, and I know I had a lot of low energy at the beginning of the LP, and that's because I honestly wasn't sure if I wanted to play this game. When I started the LP, I was starting a different series at the same time, and I just finished Apollo, and I was like, well, what am I gonna do? Because I had no idea what I wanted to play at the moment, and so I was like, you know what, I'll just jump straight on the Edgeworth train. And since the first few episodes, I was like, do I really want to do this? Do I really? Oh boy. And I just started getting into it, and the more I played, I was like, you know what, this isn't so bad. And at the end, it was like, you know what, I'm very glad I played this. The soundtrack was really, really good. I don't think I've ever seen an Ace Attorney soundtrack that was very bad. I mean, the first game, I think a lot of like the waiting themes or whatever you want to call them were a bit bland, but I think all the games were pretty good soundtrack wise. I really love this one's. Like every soundtrack just hit where it was supposed to, or every sound, I should say. A lot of people are asking what I'm going to play next, and although it won't be immediate as far as Ace Attorney, because I do like to take breaks between games I play. It might be a little while, because Ace Attorney does sort of get repetitive after a while. I'm probably going to have to go back and play Trials and Tribulations, because I don't remember that game at all, and I'm probably going to have to reread up on Ace Attorney 1 and 2, because it's been so long since I've even touched those games. But yeah, that'll come whenever it comes, and I hope you guys enjoyed this series. I did a lot. I know there's a lot of times in which I was having like a lot of trouble being into it, because I wasn't really into the game at first. But I think by the end of it, I was really happy with deciding to do this series. And it didn't feel too forced. If you guys enjoyed this series, please leave a like. I hope you guys intend to watch some of the other stuff on my channel. If you just watch this, that's fine too. I do release tons of different types of games. I tend to stick like in the kind of like dialogue heavy, story-based game kind of realm. So I hope you do kind of like that stuff. And if you like the video, please leave a like. If you haven't already subscribed by like this 22nd episode point, or 23rd, whichever this is, please do. You get notifications for videos, if you do like my videos, that is. Anyways, I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and supporting this series. It's been fun, especially since I know this isn't like the most popular series on my channel ever, but it's still nice that a lot of people are willing to sit down and watch it. I hope I've entertained you all, and have a wonderful day. Red and out.